And now, you're telling me to leave here? They said with moist eyes. Jungkook regret asking the question. He had no idea he would get such a long and detailed answer. Relax, you can sleep here. Jungkook put his head back on the pillow and closed his eyes. His arms were rested on his eyes. Thanks, you did a great favor, they said angrily. Everyone had been kept. They in fear. At Jungkook's anger is very strong, so he had think twice before opening his mouth in front of him. But here, everything was opposite. Jungkook was responding to what they said in a calm manner. Taking advantage of this, they returned to his original form and tone. They laid on the bed, resting his head on the pillow, and saw the great being who had today assumed the status of his husband. Then Jungkook also turned toward Taeyong. Taeyong's heart started beating fast. His face was right next to Taeyong's shoulder. Taeyong's breath was stopped. While Jungkook's eyes were closed, they suddenly looked at him. It was as if beauty had ended in this one person. He was extremely attractive. I wish he had the eyesight. How perfect is he? I have never seen a more beautiful man like him in my entire life. They also turned toward him, rested his head on the pillow at some distance from his face, and they didn't know when he had fallen into the valley of deep sleep. Slowly, Jungkook opened his eyes. Jungkook felt the warmth of Taeyong's breath on his face. A smile touched the face of Jungkook. John Jungkook, who had no relation with his smile, today he smiled at the sweet and sour word of a little boy. And Taeyong, if he had seen him smiling, he would completely lost his heart. It is not good to cry and sob all the time. Explain to your daughter. Mr. J was angry and looked at Hana. Mama, I want Jungkook, she said while crying. She said, look, when everyone wanted to fix your relationship with him, he refused because you like Kai. Leave Jungkook. He got engaged to Kai, and that guy gone abroad and settled down. Your Kai had married someone else. So you want to go back to Jungkook. Even you have an objection that he was blind. You don't want to marry a blind man. So what should we do? They also refused to marry him at their time of marriage, but everyone forced him to marry him. Couldn't you have been so forceful with me? Couldn't you have explained to me? This was all left to hear. Your daughter had become extremely self-willed. It would be better to make him understand. If she did such an act, then no one would have worse than me. It won't be better for you to explain to her, to get rid of this madness of Jungkook's name, for her mind. Now, he has become someone else. Mr. J walked out from there, all talking, and Hana turned to her mother. I can't forgive him. I feel like he's the same, but still, he's so handsome. I want him, Mom. I'll handle his blindness. But I can't bear to see that, to get involved with any other than me. Well, if you have such feeling for Jungkook, then what do you think about Kai? Who's your choice? He went abroad and get married. I'll hear it. Very soon he will receive a good news. She taunted her daughter. Hana's mom knew her selfishness very well in the whole family, and at that time, her daughter had bowed her head in front of everyone for refusing to marry. I don't know, Mom. But this is true. I don't have this feeling for God, which I have for him. It's mean I truly love him, and I am realizing this now. Please, help me. What do you want to say? Just yesterday, they got married, and today you're saying all this. I'm telling you clearly, Hana. Your father will not tolerate all this, so control yourself, she explained to her with anger, and left the room. When Jungkook opened his eyes, he was stunned for a moment. As it was, he had forget that he got married yesterday. On the other hand, they was clinging to him, making Jungkook lose his control with his beauty. Jungkook turned toward Tae, wanted to push him away, but he clung to him even more. Jungkook heard from Mr. Beat. That boy was a complete disaster. His faint breathing would have aroused his beautiful ups and downs, and he would have touched their chest. Jungkook's heart would have pounded even more. if he hadn't been able to see. So what? He can feel it. He turned toward Tay, placing his hand under his neck, and pulled Tay outward slightly. With that, they come completely into his embrace. They were still fast asleep. Their face were in his chest, while Jungle looked down, felt the charm of his wife. His emotions were aroused. Without controlling, Jungle put both of his hands around the waist, filled the delicate waist with his hand, so Jungle didn't know what treasure he had got into his hand. He pressed his lips under his lip, but feeling the softness in his chest, Jungle was going into a state of, and suddenly they sang. Laying on his chest, it's hard for Tay to take breath now. He opened his eyes. For a moment, he didn't understand who the person was. He had forget that he was married. Who are you? They cupped his face in his hand. His eyes were opened, but himself woken up. His mind was still sleeping. Looked at Jungkook's bright eyes. He foamed, and for a moment, it seems as his eyes were looking at him. They suddenly stood up, stepping back. He felt very embarrassed. Jungkook also stood up, ran his hands through his hair, trying to control his emotion. And did they both get so close in their sleep? Jungkook didn't remember. They went toward the bathroom while stealing the glove. Jungkook put his hand in his heart and smiled softly. Today, Jungkook and their reception, they both looked beautiful together, and everyone praised them. Hana came to stage and got jealous to see them together. Their blooming face were telling the whole story. Compared to yesterday, today, there was no sadness on their face. He was happy with Jungkook. Why wouldn't he be? After all, he found such a handsome and strong man. Hana can think nonsense in my mind. She was watching Tay continuously, very happy. It seems that the night had gone well with the blind. Jungkook was getting up and go down with the help of a stick, and Hana said, their face suddenly became serious. Nuna, please speak a little sweetly with your tongue, he said while greeting his teeth. Now what did I say wrong? By the way, what did I give you in a wedding gift? A blind person definitely won't have anything to give you, right? They just keep looking at Hana. How much poisons were filled in his heart. He didn't give anything, but he didn't let me sleep all night. Jungkook made me sleepless with his great intensity. I didn't even feel that he couldn't see. His bold style or only forced me to blush. Hearing what they said in a calm manner, Hana's heart was dark with lightning. She got up from there and left. She thinks herself very smart. They turned his face and looked at him. Then seeing Jungkook very close to him, their hearts stopped beating. Did he hear anything? He must not have heard. It didn't look like he heard anything from his face. They consoled himself, but Jungkook was blind, not deaf. Later, they had come to his house. It's been a week, but they didn't feel like living here, while Jungkook hadn't asked him to come back even once. In such a situation, his father invited Jungkook to the Kim house for dinner. The young father had the intention to send Taeyong back with him. Whatever it was, if Jungkook didn't speak, it didn't mean that his patience would be tested. For a long time, Jungkook and their father were sat alone in the study. There was still plenty of time for the dinner. As soon as Mr. Kim left the study, they himself entered the study room. Jungkook was sitting in front of him, whom he recognized Taeyong from his footstep. Mr. John, listen to me. I don't want to go to your house. There is no one to talk to. Please, you also shifted here. Otherwise, just leave me here. They came to him, held his hand, and spoke to him very politely. We will go home, Taeyong. Now that is your house. Jungkook's voice is very serious. The lips were pursed. A man should listen to his wife words too. Sometime, they said sadly, while Jungkook stood up. He came closer to him. I will listen to all the things the day you become a wife. Slowly, whispering in their ear, he left the study room. While his heart was beating badly at his bird, And at the same thing happened. Mr. Kim sent them back after dinner. They entered the house in a very bad mood. First, they took off his shoes and threw them away. They were sitting on the bed angrily, staring at him. Jungkook had taken off his glasses, took them aside. Now he was taking off his watch, keep them on the side table. You were very bad, Mr. John. They turned to him, spoke angrily. Speak in a low voice. I'm not deaf. Jungkook said in a low tone too. Yeah, I know. You're not deaf. You're blind. They stood up angrily and spoke in somewhat more harsh tone. At one point, Jungkook's hands were heard unbuttoning his shirt. They was also shocked by his own harsh word. They was not like that. Then how? He had said such a useless nonsense. I know I'm blind. There is no need to remind me. This time, Jungkook said angrily. He took off his shirt with a jerk and threw it away and locked himself in the bathroom. Oh God, what have you done, Thee? If you couldn't see, then it is God's will in this. Their eyes started to get wet. They waited for him for a long time, but he wasn't coming out. I will listen to you all things the day you become a wife. A strange restlessness has enveloped him. Right now, he was thinking. When Jungkook came out, he was wearing a bathrobe. His attractive muscle body and broad shoulder. He was undoubtedly a man of strong build. Jungkook was taking out his cloth from the closet and with quick step, moved toward the dressing room. For a moment they felt as he could see. No, he couldn't. Then how he could walk so fast